Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much, Education USA, for inviting us to be part of this webinar. And especially a big thanks to all the students who are joining us today. I'm Laura Tracal, like Anna said. I'm one of the international recruitment coordinators at Arizona State University. I mainly work with students from Central America, South America, and Spain. And I'm gonna let my colleague to introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I am Chester Henderson. I am the Associate Director for International Transfer and Graduate Recruitment. So I work with all sort of students from all across the world, really designated with our graduate population. So I'm so excited to be here to talk about the graduate application process. And so excited to be here. And thank you all for joining us. And so I'm going to pass it back over to Laura to get us started.
Okay. So let's talk about the agenda. We are going to talk about the U.S. model and obtaining visas, application requirements for undergraduate programs, graduate programs, information about our university, Arizona State University, and then we are going to open for questions. Okay, so education in the US. I would like to start talking about some important facts of studying in the US. The US has one of the best university systems in the world. It offers the students not only the traditional class environment, but also involvement in advanced research opportunities, hands-on projects, problem-solving based curriculum that opens up unlimited opportunities for the students, not only in the US, but all around the world. It has a state-of-the-art technology, very high-tech research labs and classrooms. Also, opportunities, a wide variety of opportunities for internships, research jobs while you are studying, while you are doing your undergrad programs, and also study abroad programs. You might ask yourself, okay, I'm coming from another country, why I'm gonna do study abroad program? But let's say that you are gonna come to study finance, but you want to eventually in your future, you want to work for Latin America market. So you can, while you are in the US studying here, you can just do a summer program, 2 weeks, a semester, a year, studying in one of the countries in Latin America and get also that experience that is going to help you in your future. Flexibility, you can just study in person, you can study online, or you can do a combination of in-person or online. Also flexible with you can do morning classes, afternoon, evenings, weekend, or Saturdays. So lots of flexibility when you study in the US. We have a lot of resources to support international students, not only academically, but also counseling, guidance, resources for to find opportunities to connect with other students and to do networking. Okay, one of the things that I would like to highlight is the campus life experience. Coming from other countries, you are going to see that this is like an amazing opportunity that the universities in the US have, like, to live on campus and not only like attend classes, but also be part of like the sport events, the orchestra, or different things that living on campus provides. US model, we have like public universities or private universities. Public universities are mostly funded by each state. We have 50 states in the US. And then we have private universities that are funded by private corporations. And they can be like focused on military or religious, technical, arts universities. Also, we have like the option of community college. The community college offers a low-cost education in local communities and provide also workforce preparation or credits towards your bachelor's degree. So one option is like to go to a community college to do like 2 years of the core classes and then transfer to the university and finish your bachelor's degree. Also, you have the option of doing your bachelor's degree or your graduate degree online. Okay, so when you think about, okay, I want to study in the US, you have to think about location. If you would like to go to a university like on the East Coast, on the West Coast, or something in the middle, you have to think about the weather. If you like the cold weather, so maybe a university on like the Northeast is the area where you're going to find really cold weather, snow. If you like more like warm weather, close to the ocean, you can think about like all those southeast areas. If you like outdoor hiking, Arizona and our university is a great place to come. We have like the Grand Canyon, right there, a lot of hiking, a lot of outdoor life. So then you have to think about if you want a university in a big city or college town. If you like social life, if you like to just be where all the sport games are, restaurants, concerts, so you might look for a university that is in a city. But if you like more like a quiet environment, so then you might choose like a college town university. For those interested in rankings, so you can check the rankings based on the university, the school that you are planning to attend, and checks those and make decisions based on the rankings. Also, another factor that is important is the cost of living. Of course, if you attend a university, let's say like on the East Coast, like in New York or Boston, the cost of living is way higher than in other states. And then we talk about the programs. So the undergraduate or bachelor degree is 4 years. You can do a major and also a minor. So let's say that you want to do finance, and you want to do a minor in real estate. So minors is other academic focus areas in addition to a major, and typically requires like half as many classes as a major. So you can take classes, let's say like finance, and some classes as a realtor. So at the end of those 4 years, you're going to have your major and also a minor degree. So associate degrees are just 2 years, and those are for, like, for example, the ones that choose community college. And then you have the programs online that you can do your bachelor's online. Okay, so I previously talked about campus life experience. In many countries, like my country, I'm from Argentina, we don't have a campus like with a lot of live, like different events, like here at ASU. I mean, in the US. So in the US, you have like when you go to the university in the campus, you have sports, you have fitness centers, you have the research labs, you have different organizations where you can start building your skills, your leadership. So this is really convenient, especially if you live on campus. Now, obtaining visas. First, when we think about the visa, we have to think about what kind of student am I? So I just wanted to show you that you can be an in-state student, out-of-state, international, transfer, or online. So when you are an international student, you need to get the F1 or J1 visa. And if you are a US citizen, you will be considered out of state. So let's say that you are living in another country, but you are a US citizen. So you are gonna have some a slight difference in the application requirement and in tuition as if you were a non-US citizen. So you are gonna be considered out of state for tuition, and you are gonna be considered as an international student for the application requirements. So the things that you need to have before traveling to the US is, of course, to obtain the J1 or F1 visa. And to obtain, let me tell you, when you apply to the university and you get admitted, the university is gonna issue the I-20 form. That I-20 form, you need to take it to the US Embassy or consulate, and you are gonna get the visa with that document. In order for the university to issue the I-20 form, you need to submit a financial guarantee form where you are going to state that you have the funds to pay for college. You need to submit financial documents, meaning like a bank statement or a financial institution where, and this is most of the time the parents, like bank account or any other financial institution, where they show that they have the money in the account to pay for college. Then you need to submit copy of the passport. So once they get all those 3 documents, they are gonna assign you a C-Vice ID, which is like the ID number that you are gonna use in order to get your visa. Okay, let's talk about the undergraduate application process. Where and how to apply. So we have different tools that you can use to apply. One of the most common tools is the common application. If you are interested in applying, let's say, to 2 or more universities, and then you decide which one you are going to attend, you would probably use the common app. It requires just one step, like you fill out all your personal information, and then you pick the universities you want to attend. So basically, it helps, it saves you time that if you apply to each university, like filling out the personal information for each application. If you are interested, like in attending a university in California, they have their own application tool, which is the one that it shows like 9 campuses, 1 application. Then another tool is the Coalition for College, or then, like I said before, you just go to the university colleges websites and you apply one by one. Okay, general application requirements. I would like to highlight that each institution is different. Okay, so you need to check the university or universities that you are interested in apply, check those requirements. But in general, you need minimum GPA. We use a 4.0 scale for grading, the grading system. So let's say like in your country, you don't use this scale. That's okay. You just, when the school submits the transcripts for you, they submit the transcripts to the university. The university has a system to convert your the grading of your education system to hours. Then you need to take the SAT or ACT exam. Then in order to show the English proficiency, you need to take one of these tests, the TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, PET, etc. You need to write an essay, resume, letters of recommendation, portfolio, auditions or interviews, transcripts. Like if the transcript is in another language other than English, a translation by a sworn translator needs to be attached to those transcripts. Okay, so essays. If the university you are applying requires an essay, these are important things you need to take into consideration when writing the essay. So you need to read the instructions carefully, answer all the questions, use formal English, let other people check for you, present yourself and your qualities in an honest way, write about experiences that are creative and original, show leadership and other skills you have learned, and don't write what you think others want to hear. Just be yourself, be honest. Resume. If the application requires a resume, you need to include community service, extracurricular activities, like if you were part of a sports at school, internships, if you did research, jobs that you have been doing, if you got diplomas, awards, competencies. So that's important to include in the resume. Portfolio. This is common for competitive fine arts and writing programs and or scholarships. Okay, you may need to show several years of work or performances. Understand what the university is looking for. Make sure you understand the university, the department, and can demonstrate how it fits in. You show work over a year to show progression. Make sure your work shines through the type of portfolio like photographs or digital uploads. And talk about your portfolio in your essay also. Letters of recommendation from teachers, coaches, counselors, interviews, auditions. And some best practices for application. Start early, don't procrastinate, don't wait until the last week, because then frustration, anxiety are gonna just play against you. Number two, this is important, use an email that you check regularly. I have some students that when they apply to ASU, they just write the email that they are using, the school email. But when the school is done, that account is gonna be closed. So let's say that the university wants to give you updates, wants to connect with you. So we are sending to that school email, and you are not gonna be able to get all those emails. So use an email that you check regularly. Also use the name in the passport. This is important. When you apply, the name has to match the name in your passport. Understand the requirements of the university, understand the specific requirements of your program, not only of the university, but the school you are attending. And when I say school, it's like if you're attending like School of Engineering, School of Psychology, School of Business. So just check the requirements of that school. Confirm how your grades will be sent, include school tuition and other expenses such as housing or meal plans, and look for scholarships. Here in the US, we have many opportunities for scholarships. Just look for them, check requirements, check deadlines, and apply. It's very common here in the US to apply for a lot of scholarships, not only in your freshman year, in your first year, but every year during your career. Okay, now I'm gonna let Chester talk about graduate application.
Thanks, Laura. Hello again, everyone. So excited to be here again. I want to give you all a heads up. As we continue on with the presentation, until we get to the information about ASU, all of it, the information up until this point is going to be just very general information, and it will vary by institution. So you will want to make sure that you're reaching out directly to the institution of interest to understand exactly what their admissions process is, understand more information about their scholarships. And so that is going to allow you to get connected directly with the most accurate and correct information, because Laura and I can only speak from information regarding Arizona State University. And so we're happy to be here to give you very general information, but wanted to state that as I was seeing some of the questions as they were coming through the Q&A. And so now looking at our graduate programs. So our graduate programs are going to reference our master's levels and then also our PhD. We also have post-baccalaureate certificates and graduate certificates, but that will vary by institution on if they offer those options for students. And so where to apply? Each institution is different. Unfortunately, unlike undergraduate, we do not accept the coalition application or the common application at the graduate level. And so you will have to reach out directly to the institution that you are interested in to submit an application directly to that institution. And so I will always tell students to just Google what they're looking for, and it will come up exactly what they're looking for. So usually I'll tell students just put in, if you're looking for the steps to apply, just to put in steps to apply, international students, Arizona State University or Stanford University. And then it's going to pull up that webpage for you. So you don't have to go around to each institution and then go around their rabbit hole and really try to search for that information. If you just Google it, it will pull up that information for you. So make sure that you are looking directly on the institution's website for more information about that institution, but then also to apply directly to there as well. And so just some in general application requirements that are going to be required from you is going to be an online application submission. So going on to the institution's website to submit the application directly to the institution. Typically, you will also need a U.S. Equivalent bachelor's degree or higher. Typically, students begin the application process to a graduate program their last year of their undergraduate career, so around their senior year. And so I'm going to give you some more tips on as far as planning, some more tips regarding that a little bit later. And then you're going to be asked to submit 2 additional items. So one, our transcripts translated to English if you are not from an English-speaking country. And that's going to be the 4 years that we're going to be looking for. And then you will and may be required to submit additional materials depending on the program and depending on the institution. A lot of the conversations that we're going to have here, I'm going to say may or it depends because each graduate program, each institution will differ greatly. And so you'll want to make sure that you're reaching out directly to that institution to learn a lot more. And so here are some items that you may be required to submit for your graduate application. So one of them is going to be a personal statement or statement of purpose. The language may change. Your resume and cover letter, writing samples or issue statement, professional experiences. And so that really ties into your resume and cover letter, portfolio. And then some institutions and some graduate programs also will require an interview for their graduate programs. And so, like I said before, each graduate program is different. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out directly to them. And so I want to dive into a few of these just to offer you a few tips as you're going through that process. And so one of them is going to be that personal statement, because that personal statement is going to be an opportunity for you to really brag about yourself. And so this is a tip not only for Arizona State University, but this is going to be for any institution because you really want to take the time and the effort to ensure that your personal statement or your statement of purpose is exactly what the institution is looking for. And so the personal statement is going to typically be an opportunity for you to talk about yourself. This is an opportunity for you to really brag about yourself. I know in many cultures, that's not something that you want to do, but we really encourage you to do that at this time because you are amazing. And so you want to make sure that you are expressing how amazing you are through this personal statement. And so this really describing why you are applying for that program and why you're the strongest fit for that program as well. And then that statement of purpose is going to really lean into your research opportunities. So really lean into what have you done during your undergraduate career that's going to really prepare you for that graduate program at the master's level or the PhD level. So that's really an opportunity for you to really hone in on those research opportunities or there's extracurricular opportunities that really kind of allows you to build skills to prepare you for this graduate program. And then next, I want to talk about letters of recommendation because students always have some troubles with who they want to identify to write a letter of recommendation for them. And so some tips that I have for you here as you're going through this process is one, start the process early because you want to provide the recommender more than enough time to write a letter on your behalf. And so for letters of recommendation, you should look for individuals that one can speak to your professional ability, but more importantly, some individuals that can speak to your academic ability. You want to really tap some individuals that are professors or colleagues within the classroom that can speak to your research ability or that can speak to your academic ability, how you perform within the classroom. And then your professional work. So what you do outside of the classroom also matters. And so this is an opportunity for that individual to really express what type of opportunities or what type of skills set that you will bring to the classroom, to that research room, really provide that opportunity to talk about your outside the classroom experiences. Always provide your recommenders, your resume and cover letter. And so that's why I wanted to make sure I put that on the previous slide to have ready and updated at all times, because this is an opportunity for you to provide that tool to your recommenders so that they can write you a very supportive and strong recommendation letter. And so you want to make sure that you're equipping them as much as you possibly can, because these are individuals that are going to write on your behalf with you not in the room. And so you want to make sure that they're writing a very strong letter on your behalf. And so standardized tests, each program will vary, but typically for institutions, you will have to meet English proficiency for your I-20. And so there are going to be multitudes of ways that you can meet English proficiency. Some institutions will offer waivers, like ASU. There are some ways that you can waive the English proficiency requirements, and so you'll just have to look at the English proficiency requirement on the individual institution's page. But those English proficiency tests, standardized tests that can meet our English proficiency requirement, is going to be the TOEFL, the IELTS, PTE, or Duolingo. And so us in the U.S. Do look at these across the board. We do not preference or give preference to one over the other. So you can choose whichever one floats your boat. So you do have some options there for you. And then portfolios, these are typically for those programs that are going to be in the fine arts. So very similar to what Laura has stated already on the undergraduate side. The portfolio is really going to hone in on your fine arts ability, your creative writing programs, really building out your work over the last 4 years, over the last 2 years, or however long. And so some institutions will require for you to submit a portfolio, a part of your application. And so you want to make sure that you are starting to think about that if you are in that fine arts or in that musical. So if you're into like piano playing or anything of that sort, theater, those are some things that you want to make sure that you're building a portfolio for, just so that you will be able to provide that information to the department once they require it or request it from you. And so what those application best practices are and some tips are for you at this moment is to, one, start the process early. This is the biggest tip that Laura and I can give you because especially as it relates to obtaining an I-20, that process can take up to 8 weeks, depending on the institution. And so you want to make sure that you're submitting the documents in a substantial amount of time so that you are able to get that visa appointment and also are able to get your I-20 processed in time. So start the process early, at least a year in advance. Most graduate programs or undergraduate programs start accepting applications a year and a half in advance. I know ASU does, and so you will definitely want to look at the degree or look at the institution page to understand exactly when those applications will open up, and then also when the deadlines are. At the graduate level, the deadlines will vary depending on the program. At the undergraduate level, fortunately, at least with ASU, we don't have undergraduate deadlines, but many other institutions does, especially if you're looking for institutions in California. They do have deadlines, and so you want to make sure that you are paying attention to those deadlines for those programs. Use an email that you check regularly because institutions send you very good updates on your application status and missing materials. And so you want to make sure that you are checking an email, checking your email regularly so that you're reviewing that information. Use a name that's on your passport, understand the requirements of the institution, understand the specific requirements of your program, which will vary depending on the program. So you want to make sure that you are not only looking at the institution, but then diving a little bit deeper and then looking at the individual program that you're applying to, because those may be different than what the institution requirements are. confirm how your grades will be sent. So we will need those official transcripts directly from your institution to ASU or to the institution. So you want to make sure that you are requesting those transcripts to be sent over to the institution that you're applying to. And then you want to make sure that you are starting the process early so that you can also look for scholarships. Typically at institutions, the sooner that you submit the application, the sooner that you can begin to apply for scholarships. You typically don't have to wait for an admissions decision. And so you will want to begin the application process early so that you can begin to apply for scholarships early as well. And so now I want to transition over to talk more about Arizona State University, as we are, Laura and I do work for Arizona State University. We wanted to make sure that we give you just some brief information about our institution, so that if you are interested and are looking at our institution, at least you will have some tools and resources leaving from this presentation to help you make that next step. And so we always like to start all of our presentations off as we start with information about ASU with our ASU charter, because it really talks about why we do what we do here, not only in the state of Arizona, and we're not here, not only here in the United States, but all around the world. We are an institution about access. And so we are not measured not by whom we exclude, but by whom we include. And so no matter where you are in the world, as long as you have an internet connection and as long as you're meeting our general university requirements at our undergraduate level, you will be admitted. And so you want to make sure that you are taking this opportunity to ensure that you, one, understand our admissions requirements, but then also understand starting that process early if you want to be in person, starting that process early to get you over to the US. But if you are going to be working with us online, just starting that process early so that we can get you through the process so that you can begin to apply for those scholarships. And then at the graduate level, where it really hones in here in the charter is going to be advancing this idea of research and discovery. Last year, we've dedicated more than $600 million to research expenditures. And so that's not only research that's done by our faculty members or our staff, that's research that's done by our students as well. So we encourage students to conduct research alongside our faculty members or alongside their peers. And we will provide you funds to be able to do that as well. And so we are a Research One institution, and our charter really speaks to what we do here at the institution, but exactly why we do it here at the institution. And so here are some of our rankings and that we are so proud about. We are, for the 9th year, ranked #1 in innovation. And what that really means is that going back to this idea of research and discovery, we really take heed to not only the issues that are surrounding our surrounding campuses, but then also the world or the global issues. And so you see ASU in many different environments talking about how we are going to address that issue and make our global impact. And so here are a few rankings that we have both for our undergraduate, but then also for our graduate. And so you see that we are ranked top 10 for international students chosen by the U.S. Or chosen by international students here in the U.S. And so you see that we are a destination for international students, and we are really, really proud of that. And so, as Laura stated, we are located in Phoenix, Arizona, in the Phoenix metropolitan area. Here, we do have 4 campuses in the Phoenix metropolitan area. We have our ASU West Valley campus. We have our ASU Downtown Phoenix campus, our ASU Tempe campus, and our ASU Polytechnic campus. Each of our campuses are about 25 to 30 minutes away from each other. We do offer an intercampus shuttle that takes students to each of our campuses every 15 minutes. And so students are able to take classes or the resources that are offered at each of our campuses. But with ASU, we are the largest public institution here in the nation. And so not only do we have the 4 campuses here in the Phoenix metropolitan area, but we also have locations all around the U.S. that allow students to connect with us directly from their hometowns or close to where they live. And so we have one location up 4 hours north of the Phoenix metropolitan area, which is in Lake Havasu. It's on the border of Nevada and California. That allows students to really connect with a different part of ASU. We have some nursing programs, we have some business programs up there as well. So really allow students to connect with us there. We also have a location in Los Angeles. So those are individual students that are interested in film, interested in theater. Why not study all of that in the entertainment district? And so we do have a location literally that's downtown Los Angeles that allows students to connect not only with ASU, but then also with the entertainment district at large. And so we do have partnership in the Los Angeles areas that really allow internship opportunities that Laura spoke about, studying abroad opportunities that have opportunities with Paramount and with some of the other large entertainment companies that are out in the Los Angeles area. And then the other location that I'm going to speak about, at least right now, is going to be the Washington, D.C. location, because we do have one that is literally down the street from the White House. So we have our students really connecting with not only the individuals that are in the White House, but are literally our capital. And so we have students have internship opportunities there at our capital, there at the White House, and really allow students to live the life that they are hoping to pursue after they graduate with a degree from ASU. So we are very strategic on really positioning ourselves to allow students the opportunities for internships, but most importantly, post-graduation employment. We want to make sure that our students are employed after graduation. And I see a few students are raising your hands. I'm not going to stop to answer your questions. We will have some time later on to address some questions. But if you do have some questions, feel free to drop them in the question and answering. Laura is in the background answering some of those questions for you. So feel free to drop those questions in the Q&A. And so with ASU being one of the largest institutions in the nation and the world, we offer over 400 degree programs at ASU, both at the undergraduate level, but also at the graduate level as well. And so we do have a few opportunities for you to connect with us. Here is going to be our degree search tool. You will be able to log on, type in any keyword, and then it's going to pull up all the related degrees that are going to be related to that keyword that you posted there. If you have gone through that and have identified that there's 150 that programs are related to your keyword, that's where the Me3 game will come into handy. It is a 60-question game that will allow you to go in, play around, enter in or select pictures based on your interest. And basically what happens is that it will provide you the top 3 career fields, but then also academic programs linked to those career fields that will be basically derived from your selections within that game. But then you also have the ability to look at the top 25. We always encourage students to look at this Me3 if they are still trying to identify exactly where they want to go, because this allows them to help them narrow it down for them, but then also align it with the career field so that students can understand where programs actually leads to after graduation from our degree programs at ASU. So that Me3 is going to be something that you want to take a picture of. I am trying to talk slow here, so you can take a picture of it right now if you hadn't already. But that Me3 is going to be a really good tool to help you identify a program here at ASU. That will also work for our undergraduate and our graduate program. So you can, if you're also looking for a graduate program, that's an opportunity for you as well. I'm going to pass it over to Laura to talk about our undergraduate programs or our undergraduate admissions requirements, and then I'll hop back in for our graduate admissions requirements.
Okay, so undergraduate application requirements, you have to have a minimum GPA of 3.0. For some schools like engineering, nursing, journalism, we require a higher GPA. So check the website and go to the schools and check that GPA requirement. Also, English proficiency, you need to take one of these tests. And transcripts, your school needs to send the transcripts to ASU. And again, if it's not in English, we need the translation by a sworn translator. And SAT or ACT scores, this is optional for ASU. If you want to take the SAT or ACT and you get a high score, I would recommend to submit it. The higher scores, the more money you get in the scholarship.
Awesome. All right. And then hopping back into for graduate application requirements, typically, like I said before, you would need that online application, and then you would need to submit supplemental materials. As you notice, I haven't stated anything regarding what your GPA needs to be or what your TOEFL score needs to be or anything of that sort. The reason that I am not stating that information is because, like I've stated all throughout this presentation, it will vary by institution. So I can't give you one standardized score, one standardized GPA, because some institutions will allow a different GPA than other institutions or require something different than another institution. And so it's very hard for us to really discuss the specifics there. But for ASU specifically, this is what we're looking for. Really that online application with the individual information that's listed there. And then our supplemental materials are going to include like the entrance exam. So some of our programs like computer science are still accepting the GRE. Also, our full-time MBA program is still accepting the GRE. So you will have to look at entrance exams, transcripts, and then letters of recommendation as well. So our minimum GPA here at ASU is our suggested GPA is a 3.0. And so we are looking at that 3.0, but some of our programs will require a higher GPA. So it really depends on that program. So you want to make sure that you're looking at that. The website here is going to provide you access to the university requirements and get you connected with each of the programs admissions requirements so that you can understand exactly what those requirements are. And so next, some scholarship information. We want to make sure that we leave you with some information of how you're going to fund your education once you get to ASU. And so we do have merit-based scholarships. We have need-based financial aid, talents-based scholarships, athletic scholarships, student loans. So here are a few different options that we have available to you. If you go onto the link that's there on the left-hand side, admissions.asu.edu/costs -aid /international. That's going to take you to not only a breakdown to the cost of what it's going to cost for you to attend ASU, but it's going to also provide you all of the funding opportunities that we offer international students, both at the graduate level, but then also at the undergraduate level as well. If you are interested in additional graduate information as it relates to ASU, scholarship information and things of that sort, you can always reach out directly to the academic department, and then they will have more academic scholarships available as well. And so here are some funding resources in addition to the website I just giving you. You have your tuition estimator up there at the top of the left-hand corner. This is going to break down what the cost for you to sit in the classroom, not including room and board or anything of that sort. So you want to make sure that you're understanding the difference there. And then our scholarship portal, we do have the scholarship portal that is going to be a year-round scholarship portal. So you can always access this no matter what time of year or anything of that sort. And then our student employment page, if you link onto the website that I provided you before, so this website here, if you link onto that website there, it's going to connect you to the scholarship portal and then also to our student employment website. So those are going to provide you the resources there.